You know, I some shit just comes to bite you in the ass once in a while. Sometimes you say things, sometimes you believe. Yesterday wasn't the case for Will Howard, my guy out of The Ohio State University. Last night, in his first start as a Pittsburgh Steeler after missing the preseason last year versus the New York Jets, Will Howard ended up going 10 for 15, 74 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a sack. And Drew Rather comes in later in the second half, 11 for 23, 110 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, with 3 sacks. We're going to get into that and much more from yesterday's preseason game here on PGH Chris TV on a live episode here on a rare Saturday afternoon on the PGH Chris Show. Make sure you guys go subscribe, like, follow me on X, all the other platforms you're watching me on. Make sure you guys check out our show later on the Sports Jedi Network on our weekly wrestling. I don't really usually go live myself on Saturdays because of this reason, but I am live here because the Steelers played on a preseason, and I was on vacation last week when they played their preseason game, and I did not get to check it out. So we're going to talk about that right now real quick, but make sure you guys, I'm going to show you guys right here, go on to Sports Jedi Media Network. This is our new YouTube channel that we are building up here as we are trying to get our old one back. This is our show that we do every single Saturday. You guys see right here, we're going live at 1:05, 97 minutes. Make sure you guys come check us out after we're done here. Get ready and go check us out. What you want to when you want to hear our wrestling takes. We're gonna talk a lot. So be there, be square, comment, leave a like, subscribe, help us get our old channel back as well. And we are going to dive deep into the subjects of the week. But this afternoon, we're going to talk about some Pittsburgh Steelers football taking on the New York Jets. Yes, the New York Jets, Kev's team. Okay. They killed the Steelers 17-0 inside Pittsburgh. They started off the first drive with Geno Smith going 7 for 7, 65 yards with a touchdown. He looked very good. They scored that touchdown there. They had our two linebackers kind of going in to the quarterback, kind of rushing at Geno Smith at once, and it led the running back to go right into the flat open for a touchdown. So they took Geno Smith out of the game. They had Garrett Wilson play for a little bit as well. We did see some things from Garrett Wilson. The defense needs a lot of work. Again, there's a lot of chatter, right, with Joey Porter. Apparently, the latest rumor now is that multiple teams have reached out to inquire possibly a Joey Porter Jr. So I'll maybe do a separate video, maybe not a live. I maybe do a separate video on that situation because I might have a difference of opinion than a lot of the Steelers fans do. I'm not personally that big into Joey Porter Jr. I think he has a lot of problems when it comes to holding and just unnecessary penalties. But he had a great season last year. There's no doubt about that. He has been a lockdown for us. There's no doubt about that. I'll give my thoughts about that maybe in a different video, and we'll talk about it because it's definitely a situation that I think a lot of the Steelers fans are talking, especially from the latest rumors that, you know, other teams are possibly gonna go after him. But there are a couple things that again I do want to address from last night. And when I talk about preseason, when I'm talking about preseason, this might be my last preseason review. I do know we do have one more preseason game if I'm not mistaken. We play the Buffalo Bills next Thursday. So next Thursday, it's tough. I mean, it's going to be a tough one. I might try to do the review show right after. I might be doing TNA. I don't know yet. But we got the Buffalo Bills next week, so we do have one more preseason game. But what I'm looking forward to in the preseason game, even the first one against Green Bay, it wasn't to criticize these rookies and these practice players for whatever. It was to look at the quarterback. It was to analyze the quarterback situation. We have 4 quarterbacks. Teams usually keep 3. The Steelers usually keep 3. That's why we cut Skylar Thompson last year, even though he didn't have a bad preseason. He actually did not have a bad preseason last year. But Skylar Thompson, he ended up getting the cut last year, and we kept Will Howard, Mason Rudolph, and Rodgers. We're in a situation this year where we have 2 good rookies who have done okay, have a good resume. Will Howard's a national champion. Drew Aller continues to look impressive in the preseason. But then you have Mason Rudolph, which I might be one of the only few fans that think this guy should be fucking cut from the Steelers. But he's a solid backup with the experience. And if you're a coach, and I don't even blame some of the fans that are like, if Rodgers goes down, do we trust any of these rookies to lead the Steelers to victory? That is a very legit question, and that is very real. And I think people need to understand that Mason Rudolph is the best backup quarterback that this team's going to get this season. And if they end up keeping him, I ultimately don't see the issue with it. But we got to talk about this quarterback comparison from yesterday. So Will Howard starts the first half. Did not look great. I will say that right now. Did not look great. Let's talk about it. There's just one right here I will play for you guys. Okay. I will play this on film. A little film session here. So let's this is just a preview of film sessions with PGHChris that I do every Monday after the game. I review the games right after the game is over, and I do the film sessions after. This is just a little preview of that. So this is a Will Howard sack. I think it was from the kid that they drafted, their number 1 overall pick from the Jets, right? Let me do something real quick because the video's not coming off that well. Let me just bear with me for a second. Bear with me for a second. All right, there we go. I wanted to get it rolling, but this is David Bailey getting the sack on Will Howard for Broderick Jones right here. This is what we're looking at right here. So Will Howard's looking down the field. He has his 3 receivers going out. He looks like he's going for some in route here or out. So it most likely looks like he's going in. So maybe he's looking for his target right here, but ultimately can't because Broderick Jones right here. So he's looking right here down the field. This defensive back right here is kind of has a Steelers player in his way. If he can get that ball out, that's a good catch, maybe get some yards. Same right here. He's right here. He stops. He wants to throw that ball. Broderick Jones. Now, I'm not no offensive lineman. I'll tell you that right now. He's beat right here. He's beat. He doesn't have enough leverage out here to get him out back here. See, he's struggling. Look at that arm. David Bailey's arms tucked under here, and he can't get anywhere. And that's no good. That is no good from Broderick Jones. No bueno. No bueno. Will Howard didn't. He made some okay plays though. He did have a nice throw there, at the one, unless that was Drew Aller that I'm not thinking. I know he did have the interception, which we are going to talk about right now. But he does throw the interception right there, which Roman Wilson, I don't know. I mean, that's just not a good throw. This is not a good throw. It's underthrown. And Roman Wilson also could get a little, if he beats this receiver and gets a little out, maybe Will Howard could throw that ball. But that ball severely underthrown. He throws that interception. And he throws another one. He threw another one right there later in the game. So it's interesting. It's tough. I can get the better view for this right here. So Broderick's right there. He gets back. Okay, so David Bailey just comes at him. But Roman Wilson right there. Like, if even look right here. Oh, that's all. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Miss fucking call on the play? Question mark. This is why film is crucial. This is why we look at film. Anyway, I'm not going to keep this long because I do have to get ready for my weekly wrestling show. But I do want to talk a little bit about Drew Aller. He had a great throw. Great throw right here. And we're going to play it for you guys right now. Because this is what I wanted. This is what I want and know Will Howard could do. So Drew Aller is probably looking for this receiver right here. His eyes are clearly out there. He sees that his receiver, he can't get the ball. He looks in, right? He sees his open space. He's looking for Eli. He could throw this ball to Eli right here, and he can get some yards. Like, he has options. Drew Aller has options. So let's take a look at his options. He can, again, throw this ball to Eli Heidenreich. He can catch the ball and get some big yards. Or he can do what he does. He sees the open field. He could either run or get set from this open field, buy him some more time to make a good throw. And what does he do? He runs. He sees that. Now, this is crucial. I'm going to tell you something right now. This defender from the Jets is terrible. He breaks it. How is that not a sack? First off, I'm impressed that this wasn't a sack. And instead of, it looks like he tries to get his arm to deflect the ball from being thrown. But he misses. Drew Aller just gets the ball release. He just winds up into his motion. That is a great fucking throw. Is that good awareness? Maybe not. He is lucky he gets that ball thrown. That should be a sack right there. That should have been a sack. Very impressive on what Drew Aller did right there. Mike McCarthy after the game said he has no concern, which is pretty interesting to say the least. But that was the one good throw, the one big highlight for me that Will Howard or from Drew Aller. There was a couple other good plays too. We'll check it out right here, right? We'll see some of them, and then we'll say goodbye here for this short episode of the PGHChris show. But he gets back right here again. Great block right here. Great thing by Caleb Johnson to get it right there. He can go between, but he doesn't. He throws the ball. Bam. Not bad at all. This is the same play we just watched. Again, good throw. You see it from that angle. Again, great awareness. Let's see this one. That's a great catch, too. He steps back, looks. Okay, a little ball by Eli there, but the play was dead. That's on the line. Okay, good. Yep, good ball. No, it's okay. Steps back. He can go right here. Yeah, okay. He could have ran right there through that gap. Risky, but not bad. Again, throws the ball right here. Okay, time. I'm going to tell you where he should have thrown the ball. Outside. Throw it right here on this hash mark. Throw it right here on this hash mark so he could catch it. Look at all this. He's gone. He's gone. Come on. And instead, that's not a good. No, that's not good. That's not good. But overall, he look, he wasn't bad. He didn't play a bad game. Will Howard didn't play a terrible game either. We just gotta clean a lot of the things up on the defense. We gotta get these contracts, especially with Joey Porter kind of rolling, and then one more preseason game to show what these young guys got and who's gonna make the team, who's gonna make rosters. So when all that stuff comes out, I will be here live with you guys to talk about it. But until then, thank you guys for joining me on this short little edition here of the PGHChris show to talk about the Steelers versus Jets. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys check out Sports Jedi Network Media for our weekly wrestling show here coming up in about an hour or so.